Fearless Pioneer.
Yo, what is going on guys? EJ here, bringing another Lord of the Rings Rise to War video. And today guys, I'm going to do a commander video on Aragorn, the tier 2 version. I don't know if I've used him before, like in an actual video. Like, I know I've used him in Battlezone before. I don't know if I've actually done a full-on video with him. But I'm really going to be doing it because I've unlocked his R10 equipment. So we're going to be checking it out. I think it's very strong with huge potential. And yeah, so let's get into it. We're going to start off, we'll just check out how I've got him geared, how I've skilled him, and then some units in that. And then we're going to try getting into some PvP action with all the breakdowns like we did with everything. I just want to start off and say thank you so much for the support on the videos lately. It has been fantastic. So thank you very much for that, guys. Alright, let's go in. As you can see, I've been grinding. I now have 6 level 50s on my commanders at the moment, and we're currently working on getting these two guys up as well. We have a massive, quickly, I'll just say we're going to be having on the weekend a massive war for the ring, guys. It's going to be crazy, and I'm going to be trying to record that. Hopefully it does not crash. So yeah, a lot of craziness will be happening here. Alright, let's go check out our man though. So I do have him max level. We're going to quickly go over his gear. So Aragorn is a balanced leveled commander. So as you can see, when he reaches level 20, he gets an extra 25 might, focus, and plus commander speed, plus 2 skill points. He's very good there. And as you can see, he's very good with melee units, which we will be focusing on today. And as you can see, I have 448 might. So my gear here, I'm using the Axe of Khazad-dûm. Cleave would be the preferred skill here, but I don't have it, so I've just got Panic on there. And of course, it's got hefty might of plus 52. I don't have it fully maxed. We then have the Scale Mail, which is going to give us army defense for melee, which we're going to be using all melee units today with the build that I have. And it also has melee vigor, which gives us a 6% damage reduction to all of our allied melee units. We're then using this Cask of Pride here, which gives a lot of might of 33, but also army defense buff of melee of 30. As you can probably see with how the things are looking at the moment, we're going with a huge high defense melee build, but this is where it all is going to come into effect with the Evenstar, which was happily given to him by Arwen. So yeah, let's have a look at the skills here. So it gets really good might of plus 27 with command and focus of 39. It also gets really good buff for army for men and elves plus 3. And now, this is the big one here. So each round, allied units recover 5% HP. I don't have this any refined at the moment, but this will go up with refinement. But this is the big thing. Allied men with the highest defense absorbs normal attacks directed at elves. And this is all going to make sense in a moment when I show you my unit setup in that. And we're basically going to be putting this skill fully into effect. But first off, I'm going to show you my skill tree. So I've done it a little bit differently. Usually, a lot of people, they just max out all of his commander damage skills. But I've gone a little bit different. I do think I've got him Respect 14 at the moment. So I've gone with Enduro Max, which a lot of people do anyway, which gives us a lot of extra physical damage and might. We're just going to go for these quickly. We've got Weapons Expertise, which of course we know is just got a 50% chance of extra damage. I just got an extra point up there for Call of the Week. Now, the big change is I'm running the Dunedain Chieftain. Why? Because it's giving me a HP buff at max level effect. But, as you can see, it gives an army defense of plus 30 that's going to stack with all of my gear buffs as well. So it's going to be fantastic there. Of course, we have Strider, which increases our base stats. That's why we have nearly 460 might. And then, of course, Precise Blow, which is really good with Pursuit. This is a move here that will help against Gil-galads. And then we have Raid, which is the rush attack, which is going to do a lot of damage against one enemy and then a 50% chance of it hitting again. Then I just have 2 points in Hidden Air, so I can put one in Sun and Moon Splendor, so men can gain stun immunity. Now, with all that saying, let's go have a look at his troop combination, guys, and this is what I come up with. I think it's going to be a fantastic build. So this is going to be our army troops that we're going to be setting up, guys. As you can see, I've gone with all melee. So the idea is that these 2,500 guardmen are going to take all the damage directed at my elves throughout the battle until these guys pretty much die. And as you can see, with all the buffs from the gear and from the Dunedain Chieftain skill, I now have 153 defense on here, which is absolutely crazy. A little bit higher HP with 42. So these guys are going to tank all the damage early. And then I have the Heralds here because they're going to have another 154 defense as well. They also do really good damage with HP as well, and they do have counter attacking. And then the big one, guys, the Keepers are going to be protected. They do super amounts of damage, but they've also got defense of 107 as well. And they're going to be able to do that extra focus damage as well, which is going to be nuts. But yeah, everything looks good. So now it's time to go get into some PvP action and fight some commanders and see how this goes in hindsight. Rightio, guys. So we're first off going to find out how he does against a THEODEN. I've arranged for this battle. I don't know what the gear is going to be. I don't know the troop combination. I did tell him straight up that I haven't told him what commander and that I have or my plan that. I just did tell him straight up though. If you don't believe me, I'll prove it here. I did tell him straight up that I would have 2,500 of the guardmen in there, just to be fair. So it's not in case I do destroy, which I don't know. I think I'm going to. I know Aragorn does quite well against THEODEN. We'll see what happens. But he's right here. I know he is level 50. He's got THEODEN. We'll check out the gear and everything. We'll get into the battle right now and see what happens. Yeah, and let's see how everything breaks down. Let's see if my elves get protected. If my guardmen are going to tank all the damage early. And then hopefully after that, then the heralds will tank a lot of it because the good old Keepers are a little bit squishy. They don't have the highest HP in that. So yeah, we'll see how we go here in just a moment. And we'll check out the reports. Hopefully we're either wanting to see a draw here. Or at least a win. Okay, so we've got a draw. Let's watch and see how it goes down. Okay. It looks pretty even. Let's have a look here, shall we? Let's have a look. It looks very interesting. Alright, so very, very, very strong THEODEN so far by the looks of it. Okay, yeah, okay, this is a very good THEODEN. Nice. Okay, so obviously he's got the same sword I have. He's got the evade, which is very interesting. Madness immunity and the mounted defense. Everything's looking pretty good there. Pretty high respect as well. Like, very high respect, actually. At least, I think maybe respect 11 or 12. So, really strong, THEODEN there. So, it gives us a lot to go off and really good. So, as we can see, though, this is really good. You need to look at the numbers, guys, overall. So, I received 190,000 damage. Remember, I only had 262,000 HP. Let me just quickly recall my commander as well, because obviously I'm going to lose. But let's look at the actual data here, because this is really good. It may not look like it, but this is actually a really good battle. So we did... THEODEN's got nearly 400,000 HP, or 382. We've done 300,000 damage. Now, he is healed about 60k there. So his healing has helped him a lot there as well. But we did do a lot of damage. And as you can see, our guardmen definitely tanked and took a lot of all that damage early first before these guys went into it. So if we go into it, we can see the amount of damage dealt. The Keepers are doing a lot of the damage, which I like to see. And of course, the guardmen didn't do a lot. The guardmen did take a lot of the damage, which is really good. So everything where it needs to be working was working. Now, his bow knights and everything do a lot of damage, even damage over the board there pretty much. But as you can see, the bow knights obviously were a lot stronger because I'm using all melee. So that's probably where things went a little bit harder against them. But overall, this is really good. We had a look at his gear. It was fantastic. I'm very happy with these results. That is a fantastic THEODEN. Very good results there. Let's have a quick look at the breakdown. There is obviously a few things you could do to adjust to get better results here without an absolute doubt. But yeah, let's just have a quick look at some of the other things. And of course, remember, THEODEN is going to outspeed us, and that's he's going to be hitting first and stuff like that. Raid obviously is going to hit first. So yeah, the Cavaliers attacked and did 9,000 damage. Then the Bow Knights are hitting. Then the CATAS. So he's outspeeding us and stuff like that. Then our Guardmen attacked, which was really good. The Keepers. But as you can see, when they were all of his troops were attacking, you can see that they were all attacking the guard tower. So they were doing their job. Because as you can see, like here, the Bow Knights were trying to hit the Keepers, but the Guardmans did very well there. So yeah, everything on paper and that is working perfectly. Obviously THEODEN is fantastic. Overall, mounted take a lot more to build, and I think this is a very successful, really good battle report. Now, what could I do here to change things? If I brought the Keepers down to 2,500 and put another 500 of the Guardmen and lasted a little bit longer, it would be very interesting there. But overall, this is some fantastic reports. And yeah, a big thank you to Arthur as well for coming out and helping. Really good reports there, guys. Yeah, it may not look like it, but that is fantastic. Now, guys, I was going to use the same basic troops the whole video, but I just realized I've got like no Keepers left, and we're on a deadline here at the moment. So we're going to have to mix it up a little bit here. So we're going to lose a little bit of the melee defense, but that's fine. Even like my Guardmen are getting low, but I still can do 2,500. I still want to run the Heralds. So I think what we're going to run here is the Sentinels. Now this is going to be very interesting because not only is they going to like not take a bunch of damage early, but when they do go to get attacked early, they are going to avoid that first attack, and this could be like in the 5th round and that. So I think we're going to run 25, 25, 25, and just be completely even around the board. My reinforcement time is going to take quite a while, so I'll probably just take him straight back to base, and then do it that way, and then I'm going to line up another battle with someone. So yeah, a little bit of adjustment there, but the Keepers did really well, but they were a bit squishy as well in the results. So now that we've seen how he can do really good with the defensive buff, we're going to make a little bit of an adjustment to his skilling here. Instead of, we're going to lose a little bit of HP, but instead of the extra 30 defense, we're going to put more points back into his skill damage and that, and see if it's going to help. So let's try that out, shall we? So we're going to re-put all the skills back into Andrural. Basically, we're just not going to be putting the 15 points into Dunedain Chieftain, and we're going to go with more damage. We're still going to have really high defense as well, but we just want to optimize the amount of damage that we do. I also feel like this probably would have done a lot better versus that original first THEODEN that we just seen in that battle before. So after a lot of consideration, I feel like the best way is to go with the amount of full damage as we are doing right here, because the commander damage is very good and we're not relying on the troop damage, even though we did a ton in that last battle. So yeah, we're just going to be basically putting all of our points in here like this, and we're going to be doing a lot more skill damage like this, guys. So this is the Aragorn full damage build. The troop setup is pretty much the same, but we just had to throw those Sentinels on that you're seeing because my Keepers are getting very low. So as you can still see, we've still got 123 something defense. We're only losing like the 30 defense there. The defense levels are still super duper high. Obviously not very high on the Sentinels, of course, because they're not a melee and they're going to get all that buff. But they got really good damage, and they've also got that chance of evade as well. Alright guys, so yeah, we're going to be going up against Count Dooku. I've actually found out that I'm going to be going up against a brother combination. These guys are super strong. I don't know the troop combinations or anything, but we're going up against a level 50 DWALIN, and these guys are super strong. So yeah, it's going to be crazy videos today, win, lose, draw. But I am stepping up the game and versing very, very strong people and their commanders, guys. So yes, the rest of the video, stay tuned. It's going to be absolute nuts. I'm probably going to run out of troops before the end of this, guys. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully at least a draw. DWALIN can be pretty strong, but we'll see what happens. We'll just double check to make sure that's all good. Okay, I think I'm going to be battling that next soon, so that's all good. That's his brother. Alright, let's have a look at the results. Okay, so we did lose, but let's have a look at... Let's have a look at the results, shall we, though? I know he has a we did do a lot of damage, so it's going to be very interesting. Okay, so let's have a look. Wow, okay, 363 HP. That is crazy. Okay, that's a very strong DWALIN. I said there was going to be very strong commanders here, guys. Very, very, very strong. Okay, so he's... I don't know what respect these are. I'd have to ask, but obviously at least respect 10. Got some very, very good gear. Amazing gear. So, everything's perfect with the skilling. Very high. Very strong. Let's have a look at the breakdown, shall we? Because it's not as bad as you probably think it is. So, obviously we did get destroyed and absolutely wiped. We did a lot of commander damage there. Our soldier damage wasn't a lot. We're going to see exactly what happened. So he did a lot of commander damage there, as we can see. Let's have a look at the breakdowns more. So my troops weren't doing a lot of damage, so that was a big issue. And of course, these guys did take a lot of the damage early, 120,000 there. Where with the damage received, his guardians took a lot of it and 91,000. We need to have a quick look at the breakdown just to see exactly what happened. So let's go have a look, shall we, guys? Just because it's a loss doesn't mean that it's a bad battle. So let's have a look. So Aragorn did get the first damage in. So our raid first hit for 17,000 damage. That's actually really good there. The big things is when the whirlwind and that were hitting the later rounds. That's going to be the big problem. So you can see all of his troops were hitting. They were all hitting the guardmen. So everything was working perfectly there. I think we need to scroll down until the big ones. Like, see, we're still getting some good damage in here early, which is very nicely. But when it gets later on, when my guardmen actually get destroyed, because they're taking a lot of damage there. And Dural's still hitting very strongly. When he starts getting his big hits coming in, which will probably be at the next round here. Let's just scroll down here. Alright, round 4. This is where the his big hits will come in. So yeah, you can see all in did 31,000 damage there. So that really hurt a lot there, without an absolute doubt. Hunt down gives an extra amount of damage. So yeah, I did last for quite a while. How many rounds did the battle end up going for? So we lasted like 7 rounds, so not too bad. All in all, like, very strong DWALIN, obviously. I'm still pretty happy with the results. Like, if you look at it damage-wise, I only took about 50k extra damage compared to the damage I've done to him. I still think that, like, the troops that I've got aren't doing a lot of damage, but it's more about the commander damage. But also, yeah, I'll shorten it down there a bit. I think the results were kind of interesting and not the worst. Just because I lose doesn't mean that it's a terrible result. Remember, this is all about just trying to see how this works and whether I think it's fully worth using. And I'm putting him against some extremely strong commanders to test it out. Rightio, guys. So we're going to do one more battle here versus an ISILDUR, which is very strong. I've run out of guardmen, so we don't really have a choice here. So we're going to have to use another manish unit with high defense. So we're probably going to have to use the CATAS here. So we're going to have probably at least put... We don't want that many on. So we need to work out a good combination here. Now, we know he is very strong against range, but we're still going to leave the Sentinels on. We ain't going to change anything else. So, basically, we're just going to stick with a kind of setup like this. I think about 2,000 with the archers. Remember, when Dunes go to attack, it's not going to hit these guys. It's going to hit my horsemen first. So, I think I'm going to go with a lot more horses and go 15, 25, and 2,000 for this setup. It's going to be a little bit different. But yeah, I don't know. He could be running a full ranged setup on ISILDUR or whatever. And I know ISILDUR can be extremely strong no matter what anyway. Could be running Madness or whatever. So yeah, we're going to try something a little bit different. We're going to throw them on. And once you throw them on, it's actually going to buff it up. So now we've got 106 defense there. And we're going to be doing a little bit more damage than that. Just because we run out of guardmen. And it's going to be a little bit different for this last battle result. So yeah, we'll be back up there in just a moment. Rightio, guys, so let's see how we did against ISILDUR, shall we? Wow, okay, that's a very interesting result. It looks like all of my 1,500 horsemen got killed first. Let's have a look at his gear real quick. Okay, so he was all purple gear with melee might. So melee, an extra might buff with evade. He's gone with madness immunity. I think he was skilled a little bit wrong here. He had some skills still here, guys, in the troll, so he wasn't perfectly skilled. But it was pretty much on the correct way that it needed to be. He could have either had some points into madness or had more into free peoples. But basically, this 7 points here was a little bit of a waste. So we'll take that in consideration. Let's just have a look at the damage-wise. I did a lot of damage there. Overall, even if he was correctly skilled, I still would have won this battle without an absolute doubt. It seemed my sentinels got destroyed, of course, obviously, by the dunes. I still took 200,000 damage as well, so I took hefty losses. But let's just have a quick look at the breakdowns. Let's just go a little bit further in, shall we? Let's just go in here and have a look. So, these guys didn't do hardly any damage at all. They only did 5,000 damage, which is very interesting. But they tanked all of the damage taken. And then the even damage, all of the dunes were damaged. That's the damage he dealt. So his dunes did a lot of damage there. But then, yeah, evenly absorbed all the damage there. But he did survive with incorrect skilling, which is very interesting. But I just want to have a quick look at the early rounds just to see if everything was correct. Alright, so round 1, CATAS activates raid. So it looks like Ult's attacking first. Heralds attacked. They attacked the CATAS. Everything was just attacking the CATAS. Rangers attacking. So, very interesting there. I just want to have a look in these other few rounds real quick. Dunes, it looks like he didn't get dual blows hit as well. So, he might have had some pretty bad RNG as well as a little bit of the issue on the skilling there. But, all in all, I think overall, even with the correct skilling, I would have won that battle. The horses seemed to do pretty well. They did tank a lot of damage, but they didn't do a lot of damage, even though they possibly could. So, they sort of just got shredded in the first 2 rounds. And then it gave the chance. As you can see, my heralds lasted really well, and that's what survived between these two. So, really, these guys could have been replaced as well. But overall, not a bad result. But let's just do the summary, guys. Is it worth obtaining it? It is pretty good, but I would probably not... Well, you could do it and try it out if you wanted to, and you could always just use an Elven Craft Hammer and get rid of it later on. But in saying that, I'm going to retire Aragorn after this. I think there's a lot of other better commanders to work on. He's still a really good commander. I did go up against some very strong opponents today as well, so do keep that in mind. But I just feel like he doesn't have any healing abilities. He doesn't really have any avoidance. He can be really good at damage, but the Dwarf Commander is going to out-damage him. And he could be really good against Guild with Pursuit. That's probably one thing he'll be really good with. But overall, I just feel like, as a commander, he just takes too much losses, and that's the problem with him. Alright, guys, we're going to wrap it up. And until next time, peace out, EJ's out. And I'll catch you guys later. See yous.
Of the EJU army, yeah, you guys are legends to me, so let's keep on.